After talking to thousands of businesses, the number one reason that most aren't making video, even though they know they should be, is because it just takes up too much of their time. However, for all of our clients and for ourselves, we managed to make a month's worth of content or more in less than a day of filming. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly how we do that for our clients and ourselves, and also how you can apply this to your own business without having to hire anybody. So when you try to make a month's worth of content within one session, you have to do it within one of two ways. You can either make a few long form content pieces and cut short form content pieces from those, or you can make a bunch of short term content pieces on their own and individually distribute these. Now, let me take a second and explain the advantages and disadvantages of both, because there's not necessarily a correct option, and both are really fantastic depending on what you're trying to do and where you're trying to distribute the videos. So if you're going to be posting a lot of content over a lot of different platforms, then it might be best to start with the long form content plan that's then broken down into reels. Now, the reason for this is because a lot of platforms like LinkedIn or YouTube or even places like your website are going to allow you to post full-length videos, but they're also going to give you the option to post shorter-length videos. Or even places like Instagram, if you want to post the full-length version and pin it to your feed or your profile and save the shorter vertical versions for your story highlights, that's another option as well. Of course, they can go on Reels too, but the point is it's going to give you a lot more flexibility in what you can post and where you can post it. And a lot of the times, especially if you're trying to do more high conversion content, long form content is going to be much better at that, and it's going to still give you the opportunity to clip it into shorter reels. Now, in terms of the disadvantages of clipping long form content into shorter content is that no matter how much you try and how much you plan for it, which by the way, we do a ton of planning and strategizing for it, those videos just aren't going to be as optimized or as direct as if you were to come up with the short form concepts on their own. So using that point to transition into the advantages of the short form concepts, you can think that when you come up with these videos by themselves, you're thinking of their own hook, their own script, and their own call to action. And because of that, these videos are going to be very hyper optimized and direct. And although sometimes you can clip a short from a long form video and get the same kind of effect, you can get that basically every single time if you're making these videos from scratch, because you're building it from the ground up to be what you need it to be in terms of capturing your audience's attention, targeting their needs, and making sure that you can call out to them the way that you need to be so that they can then take action after. So the main disadvantage with short form videos is that you're almost confined to the video that you wrote out and that you planned. And if you want to pull any extra words or scripts or any extra parts of the video, you're not going to really have anything because you didn't make anything else. In a long form video, if you take a 30-second clip, maybe you can add in an extra 5 seconds or remove an extra 5 or swap an extra 5. But in the short form video, all you can really do is cut it down further. You can't really add more because there's nothing else to pull from. So like I said, there's advantages and disadvantages to both styles of production, whether you want to produce short form videos on their own or long form videos that are then broken down into short form videos. But once you figure out what's right for you, then you can move on into the next step, which is figuring out how can we produce this content as fast as possible and as easy as possible without ruining the quality. So whether you're producing long form content that you're going to break down into reels or you're producing individual short form content, the production process to make it efficient is almost going to be the same, and it really comes down to the planning and the shooting on the day of filming. Now, this is probably the hardest part to get right on your own because there's a lot of logistics involved, so this is where I would recommend working with a production company. So for this video, I'm going to use one of our clients as an example because we make 15 videos for them every single month, and we do this so that they can post every other day. This means that they can post with perfect consistency month after month, and we're always at least a month ahead with videos so they have something to pump out and post no matter what. The first thing we do every single month with that client is we get in a call with them and we have our monthly content planning meeting. This is where we pitch our concepts to them and we come to that meeting with ideas prepared in advance. Because we work with them over a long period of time, we already know about trends within their niche, we know about topics, about services that they offer, we know about people that could talk on camera and what they could talk about. So we come to them and pitch our ideas. They look at them and usually they like all the ideas, they might tweak them a little bit, but once they like them, they'll approve them, and we'll start working on the production plan, which is where we start talking about, okay, these are going to be the scripts for all 15 videos, these are going to be the shot list for all 15 videos, these are the props we need, and then once we have this all compiled together, we can send it to the client and say, hey, this is the plan, let us know if it looks good, and by the way, here's a list of all the things we need from you. So if we need them to prepare any props in advance, if we need certain on people on camera that day in advance, we have them ready, Anything else we need for that video, we make sure to have in advance and let them know beforehand so that on the day of filming, like I said, it doesn't take any longer than that day itself. We don't have to come back to capture anything else. We don't have to come on a second day to get something that wasn't there the first day. We plan everything out in advance so everything is there within the 6 to 8 hours that we're filming. When the day of filming finally arrives, everything usually goes very smoothly because we already know the order of what videos we're filming. We already know, like I said, how many videos we're filming, the scripts for all these videos, the shots for all these videos. Everything's figured out and we're basically just executing the plan. Because of this, like I said, we're able to film those 15 videos in usually under 8 hours, but on average about 5 to 6. Now, in the same regard, if you were to film long form content that you were to break down into shorts, you would do this with probably 3 to 4 videos instead of 15, and it would take you around the same amount of time because each one of these videos would be maybe 10 to 15 minutes versus, 30 to 60 seconds. The key to making sure the delivery on these videos is as smooth as possible is making sure that the editing process is just as smooth as the filming and planning process. At our company, we start planning the edits before we even start filming the videos, so we have so much of it figured out before we even get back to our computers. And this is individualized to you. So if you have something like a brand kit, if you have a B-roll library, we're gonna be able to hold on to these for you and implement these into every single video that we produce. So that way, the content that the external editing team is producing for you still feels super custom and it's like being produced by an in-house team. So from beginning to end, we try to keep the process as seamless as possible by always having everything accounted for and planning as far ahead as we can in advance. The only 2 meetings we have every single month are the monthly content planning meeting and the performance review, but that is a discussion for another time. Like I said, we've used this technique with our own content, including this video right now, but we've also used this technique for tons of our clients. So if you want to see how we can do it for you, click the link at the top of the description and it's going to book a call with our team where we can chat about how we can help you and your company grow with video. Or if you want more free value like this video and learn how to apply a video strategy to your business, then make sure to hit the subscribe button because we're now posting new videos every single week on this channel about how you can use video to power your business.